And as that was happening in Uhuru Park, religious leaders are now demanding that the unconditional release of the anti-finance bill protesters who are in police custody or in remand as they await the hearing of their cases. The leaders also want an independent probe into the killings of scores of demonstrators across the country in the last 3 weeks, as well as called on the president to reconstitute his cabinet. They spoke when they held an interdenominational religious prayer service in remembrance of those who lost their lives during the protests that coincided with Saba Saba Day celebrations.
Let me hear you clap. Go.
At All Saints Cathedral, Nairobi, considered a bastion of reforms advocated from the pulpit, religious leaders and youth gathered to mourn lives lost in the anti-finance bill protests and to pray for the country. And one by one, names of individuals who died were read out from a list prepared by the Defenders Coalition that claimed that 40 people had died during the protesters' face-off with police.
Chris Gitonga, Rex Masai, Matthew Njoroge,
Francis Sawe, Brian Kimathi Kagwiria, Carlton M. Muthoni.
A family of one of the deceased was among the congregants, recreating the period of pain and agony following the death of their kin who was felled by a police bullet.
Boys alikuwa tu hapa hivi na sisi saizi hayuko, but iko tu sawa, yote ni ya Mungu. Wanasema maji yakimwagika haiwezi zoleka, but we should prepare a way that this does not happen to another ama tuseme tu someone's parent ama someone's kid. Nacheki.
And I really thank God. Thank God.
And the sermon by Christ is the Answer Ministries CITAM presiding Bishop Callista Zodede was crisp and directed at the powers that be as he spoke against what he termed the danger of misplaced zeal and the challenge of impunity.
The danger of misplaced zeal, where individuals who felt they needed to protect the king went to such an extent that their murder resulted in the death of the young people that today we are celebrating. The danger of misplaced zeal, individuals who feel we've got to protect other people and protect them even at the point of others losing their lives.
At some point, his sermon interrupted by a sole protester who demanded that the church leads from the front in demanding justice.
Thank you.
Justice for the people they killed.
After prayers were offered for the country, the youth and families of those who lost their lives, the congregation sang the 3 verses of the Kenyan national anthem. The interfaith meeting is now demanding for the unconditional release of all protesters in police custody and those who have already been arraigned in court to face criminal charges.
We want the IPOA, the Independent Police Oversight Authority. We have not had a single statement from that body. If they are not capable of doing the job, they should be disbanded.
We want to urge the president to prioritize the needs of Kenyans and to pursue what is good for all citizens, rein in on corruption, reduce opulence and unnecessary expenditure, and lead in keeping the rule of law.
While calling on an extensive probe into the killings by police, the religious leaders have directed their guns on the Inspector General of Police, Japheth Kome, whom they want to resign or be fired by the appointing authority.
We have not heard him speak and we have not seen him. Yet we have come here to mourn over 40 people who have been killed by his officers. We ask him to resign, or in the alternative, we ask the president to discharge him from his duties.
We have taken note of the great dissatisfaction of the Kenyan youth with the religious leaders. And on behalf of the church, we wish to let them know that we have taken note of this situation.
The leaders have also called for the dissolution of the entire cabinet as a means of rebooting President William Ruto's pre-election pact with Kenyans.